Welcome to the Downtime from WTWH Media with your hosts, Sarah Wynn and Sheri Kasprzak, bringing you everything you need to know from the week in manufacturing.
Welcome back to the Downtime. We are a weekly manufacturing podcast from WTWH Media, sharing insights from packaging, OEM, and plant engineering. I am Sarah Wynn, senior editor, and one half of the Downtime Divas, and your co-hosting tag team. Let me tag in my partner in crime,
Sheri Kasprzak. I am the executive editor of Automation and Controls here at WTWH Media, welcoming you back for another episode of the Downtime. We're always so glad you're here with us.
It's a pleasure, and wanted to acknowledge the hat choice today. Everyone is throwing it back to 2016, Sheri.
We are. Yeah, I kind of feel like I missed the memo. I don't know. I don't even remember what the trends were in 2016. Like,
well,
years. Well, you go ahead and tell me. Take me through it.
Well, I'll just say one really important thing happened in 2016, and it's on my head. The Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James, hashtag Team LeBron, won the NBA championship, the finals. They beat the Golden State Warriors, and I lived in San Francisco at the time, so I wore this hat everywhere I went.
Look at you, throwing it back. I love it.
Throwing it back. I love it.
That is awesome. So yeah, we are back for another episode of Downtime, and we have a lot of great stuff coming up. Why don't you kind of give our audience a little sneak peek, Sarah, about who we have in the hot seat, the interview stage for today's episode?
We are joined by Captron General Manager Sean Walters, joins us to talk all things sensing, buttons, automation, food packaging, really exciting stuff. Plus, he sticks around for the game time segment.
That's right. And one fun fact about Sean is he's coming up really quickly on doing a TED Talk. So excited for him. He'll be doing that in Atlanta. So stay tuned for that. I know that he's really excited about it, and I think it's going to be a great TED Talk. He is a fun guy to talk to, so we had a really great interview. But before we get to that, why don't we open things up with some headlines? How does that sound?
Headlines.
Let's do it.
Ties in really nicely. Sean will, in our interview, he showed us his demo for IPPE. Another news item from IPPP, JLS Automation will introduce its new high-speed robotic system for protein packaging. We got some food packaging news at packagingoem.com.
We love it. You got to get your protein. Isn't that what everyone's doing these days?
Oh, I've been on the high protein kick for a minute. You know that, Sheri. You know that.
We love it.
Yes. So this collate and load system will make its debut in Atlanta later this month. It can handle up to 15 protein products per minute. Think cylindrical protein products like meat snacks, sausages, things like that. We also have some Gouda news, some cheese applications.
That's so cheesy.
Oh, she got me. BW Packaging's new multi-jaw flow wrapper. It's designed for high-speed sealing applications with cheese. It includes quick-release jaws, jam detection, operator RFID access, and HMI controls. My interview with Brantley Turner, he is the senior product manager at BW Packaging, is available on Packaging OEM's website and our YouTube channel. Check it out.
Check it out. That's great. Thank you so much, Sarah. So over on plantengineering.com, we have hot off the presses, the plant engineering salary survey. And I know you're going to want to go check that out. I will drop it wherever you can find the podcast. And that will include plant engineering and YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and on our LinkedIn page as well. So if you're not following us, go give us a follow. But in our salary survey, you can find 2026 plant engineering salary survey respondents. They're reporting that higher salary levels are coming, and they're coming along with strong job satisfaction levels. So we love to see it, but you can get lots of juicy details. That is a survey that we did as a brand. Plant Engineering did their own research. Our respondents came back and told us how they feel about their salaries. So a lot of great details there, a lot of good graphs, and we love a graph. So check it out. Go over to plantengineering.com for our salary survey.
Salary survey is a nice, clean graph. Beautiful.
We love it.
Love it. So we will segue now into our interview segment. Just so you know, everyone, our segment will include our game time and the end of the episode. So this week, as I mentioned, Sean Walters, Captron General Manager, joins us. Sheri, he talks about so many interesting topics with us. He previews his IPPE demo, automation. Anything else you want to add before we jump in?
No, he was just a lot of fun to chat with. A lot of great information about buttons. The man loves a button, and who can blame him? So we love that. But yeah, Sean, thank you so much for joining us. Take it away. And welcome back to the Downtime. We are so honored today to have Sean Walters. He is the general manager of Captron. Welcome to the Downtime, Sean.
Thank you so much, Sheri. Looking forward to today.
Fabulous. We are too. So yeah, Captron is a sensor manufacturer. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and Captron?
Okay. Well, I've been in manufacturing and automation now for almost 25 years. It's kind of hard to believe. I've become one of the older folks in the industry. I started with a company called Emerson and in the ASCO space and moved into the fluid power space. So working with automation regards to air and stuff like that. And about 3 years ago, I moved over to Captron. And Captron is a company based out of just outside of Munich, Germany. It focuses in capacitive technologies, different things from touch sensors to robotic sensors, and level probes and stuff like that. So primarily around capacitive sensing technology. And we've been here, well, at least I've been here at Captron for the last 3 years, really have enjoyed it. We've been trying to take this technology into different markets where it really brings value and helps customers keep their products going the way they want to.
Thank you, Sean. We're so excited to chat with you today about packaging, manufacturing, automation. But first, can you tell us what's behind you? You got something going on?
So we're very excited. We're going to be at the IPPE show in 2 weeks. And this is a demo Eli, one of our automation specialists, has put together, just showcasing the variety of different things that we can do to help specifically food packaging and food production increase their uptime and give them a little bit more functionality. So a lot of different things going on here all at the same time, but the general crux of what we're trying to show is how we can take different technologies together to make sure that their production's up and running, to make sure their machines are doing what they want it to do. And kind of going back to what one of your guests said previously is talking about scale and improving things incrementally. And ironically, even at the control button level, that's where Captron can really help people improve their efficiency. So we have things displaying vibration sensors. So if a motor goes out, they can do some predictive maintenance to make sure that they address that before it becomes an issue. And even to the basics of buttons working at the machine itself. When it comes to food productions, it's very challenging environments. A lot of times mechanical buttons just don't get the job done. So we offer a hygienic button that is not only safe to use, but is very reliable and gives them continuous uptime from that standpoint.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I think over on the plant engineering side of things that, our audiences are always interested in reducing downtime. Tell us a little bit about how some of the data that you can collect can help manufacturers cut their downtime.
Well, there's a few different ways that users can use our products to do that. Now, at a very basic functionality level, our buttons are IO link. So we tell users that you can use it discreetly or you can use it through IO link. And that IO link feature adds a lot. It adds the communication piece. It's easy to connect. It can remember different functionalities. But with that IO link, you could take it to edge devices, perhaps understand how certain users are using machines more than others, engaging it more, seeing where they're experiencing downtimes with certain machines. So functionality-wise, buttons are the core of everything you do around machines. You're engaging a button to get it to start, to stop, to change, and all of that can be done through IO Link, and that's the functionality we bring to the table. Now, there was a second part to your question I want to make sure I address. What was the second part, Sheri?
Just how can manufacturers really use data to better reduce their downtime? What sort of functionality should they be kind of paying attention to?
Yeah, and I think it does come back to just, is that button working? Is it taking that data back? I'll give you a quick example. I was at a plant not too long ago where they were just finishing up one of their washdown cycles. It's very common in a lot of these packaging facilities where they'll take chicken and they'll run it through the processing facility and they'll get it to the packaging side. And unfortunately, a very common mechanical button wasn't working. So they didn't have the ability to collect the data from it. They didn't know which one wasn't working. So there's some challenges there from just a sensing standpoint. And as I started talking to that customer, he started to explain to me that because this panel didn't have the capabilities of IO-Link and the discrete, they actually lost about 10 minutes of downtime. And for that person in that plant, that was about $7,000 because it's $700 a minute of downtime. Whereas if they were to use different technology like our technology, where it wouldn't be damaged because of the washdown, and they would be able to identify where the issues were if there was an issue, that's where we really bring a lot of value to customers in that sense.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I want to circle back to the washdown buttons. Can you just tell us a little bit more about those and what OEMs need to know?
Yeah, that is just such a fundamental topic that's very challenging, right? So when it comes to processing or even packaging food, right? Most of these areas are cleaned and make sure that they're safe for food production, right? So the food that we all take in every day is safe to eat. So with that, a lot of times they have what's called a washdown cycle, and it requires an IP69K certification, meaning it's designed to take that high pressure spray and the machines can be cleaned off so that the next cycle there's not bacteria buildup. Well, Captron has designed the only hygienic certified capacitive touch sensor on the market, meaning it has no crevices, no place where bacteria can grow. And because it's capacitive, it has an infinite life. So we don't have the same challenges that a control button may have, say a mechanical button where water could potentially get inside of that button. I mean, Sarah, I've literally been inside plants recently next to packaging machines where there's water inside the buttons themselves. And they will work. They'll work for a time, but they actually measured the lifetime of those buttons in weeks, not in months, not in years. They measure them in weeks because after the washdown, the water gets inside of them. And not only do you have a place where that button's just not going to functionally work, causing downtime, you have a place where bacteria can build up and cause problems in that sense too. So that's the value Captron brings to the table, in addition to all the other functionalities of IO-Link and processes like that.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Tell us a bit more about IO-Link itself, in terms of sort of its compatibility across various networks, and how that works with each individual manufacturer's, network that they choose.
Yeah, and anything with the edge too.
Well, the beauty is IO-Link's like an open protocol. So if you have a product, you have to put what's called an IODD file on how your product works inside an IO-Link master. So it's a very generic way for different sensor technology. It doesn't have to be our sensors. It could be proximity sensors. It could be vibration sensors. I mean, all different companies make IO-Link products. And the IO-Link master itself then can connect with multiple different protocols. So it's a very universal way to make machines more modular, increase uptime in the sense of if a sensor goes bad, you can replace that sensor, and that IO-Link master will save all the data points and all the functionality of that sensor. So it really is a very simple way to make your machines universal. And again, it works with all different protocols. There's literally, I can think of Murr, SICK, Beckhoff, Phoenix Contact. They all make IO-Link masters in the sense that they can connect all these pieces and really make it easy to communicate with their controls.
Excellent. Thank you.
Could you briefly just mentioned it, how Captron works with other OEMs, other companies. Can you kind of dive into that?
Well, we can even tap into this demo behind us here a little bit. At the very bottom of this motor right here, we have a vibration sensor by SICK.
Oh, yeah.
And then, and ultimately, it's just sensing the health of that motor. If it starts to break, it'll start to vibrate too much. And then we can display over here on the left-hand side, it's not running right now, but we can display the health of that motor. If it's running fine, it's green, it's good to go. But if it starts to, the motor starts to break down and the windings start to be a problem, we can display that through IO-Link over here, hey, you have a problem. That motor's about to break, and obviously that communication can also go back to the controller to say, hey, we have a problem. We want to address this motor before it causes us downtime. So again, we're using 3 or 4 different technologies here to go to the customer and say, hey, this is how you can apply IO-Link using our products and other manufacturers' products so that you can reduce your downtime. And ultimately, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, making these plants as efficient as possible, making sure they reach their goals. That's what we want to be part of.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. For sure. Yeah. Talk a little bit about automation. I mean, I know a lot of companies, they hear the word automation and it's just a no. They don't want anything to do with automation. What are some things that companies that are a little more resistant to automation can do to help automate some of their processes?
Well, I think your last guest spoke to it very well. Christine, talked about scalability,
Mhm.
and that's where we play. Automation is a very broad term. And a friend of mine, and I don't know if you're familiar with him, Dave Turner, he has this hat he gave us. It says automate or die. And the reality is that's true. I mean, and you have to automate in today's market to be competitive, to get away from the supply chain challenges we've had in the past. These are all necessary things for us in order to play in the global market. So the question is not if you're going to automate. If you don't, you're done, right? I mean, it's just a matter of time. The question is how to automate and how much investment to get you where you need to go. So we believe we're a great step function with a lot of our technologies to help that, right? We're a scalable technology. Improving away from mechanical buttons, getting into something that's durable and can communicate over IO-Link in any fashion is going to help you scale that automation, right? Or with the robotics end of our business, where we have a calibration sensor that's going to make that robotic arm more useful for the long term, where you don't have that high investment of automation. So it really comes down to, and again, I'm super passionate about this. It is necessary for all of us to understand that we have to invest. You have to invest in some form of automation. You have to pick something that's going to help you scale in the long run. And that's the only way we're going to be successful. So communicating that with people that we want to be part of that, we will work with other people to be part of that. I mean, this conveyor here, this is from Kathy from FlexLine. You guys are familiar with her.
Yeah.
We're working with her on this. We're part of this for the IPPE show. I think that's what it's really about, is just coming together and bringing value to customers so that they can be more successful in their markets serving their customers.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I know we briefly talked earlier about Memphis record packing or Memphis record pressing and how they automated their packing line. If people don't know, vinyl record production is a very manual process. And if you're even in a manual process like that, you can find a way to automate. So for sure, I think somewhere down your line, you have to automate.
Down the line,
Absolutely.
literally.
Sheri, if I could add, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying down the line, literally. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
for real.
Unintended. I mean, and just to add to that, it's amazing to me. And again, I've been in this automation space for almost 25 years. How many places don't have automation?
Right. Yeah.
And they constantly want to throw labor at it. And we're just at a point in the market, you can't do that. Whether it be warehousing or whether it be packaging or whether it be putting things together. And we have a lot of manufacturing in the US. I don't think people realize that we do make a lot of stuff, but we do have a lot of old processes that need to be updated. I mean, for the last 30 years, most of manufacturing has spent time reducing cost and just driving these long supply chains. If COVID taught us anything, is that's such a major weakness, right? And I'm sitting here in Fort Mill, South Carolina, in less than 400 yards from where I'm sitting is a Chinese manufacturer for carpeting, right? And they didn't move that facility here because they're throwing labor at it. They moved that facility here because they're throwing automation at it, and they can be competitive right here. Whereas Fort Mill used to be, the carpet, well, not sorry, carpet. I'm losing the word for textile capital of the U.S. between here and Greenville. We lost that to China, and now it's coming back because of automation. So I'm just very passionate about that.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite, I like to throw around statistics, but I think it's a really staggering one, is that we have a labor shortage in the manufacturing sector. And, I read the statistic that 30% of all jobs in manufacturing will go unfilled between now and 2030. And to me, that's like a third. That's a third of all jobs. Like, how do you fill those roles if not for automating processes? Like, if you don't have workers on that line, you have to have something on that line.
Absolutely. It's automate or die. I mean, I've
Yeah.
never heard anything better. That's so the
Right.
truth.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Dave Turner, we like that slogan. If you got it
We
on a
do.
hat, you can send it over. We'll wear it.
Exactly. We need some swag.
He's got some good hats for sure.
Yes, I'm a big fan of hats. I wanted to mention a few things. Plant Engineering has great state of reports that tie into a lot of these topics. We'll share those links too. And you mentioned SICK, you mentioned FlexLine. Can you kind of share how you decide as Captron who to collaborate with in terms of projects, things like that?
Wow, that's a great question. One, you like to work with people you trust and enjoy working with. I mean, we got to meet Kathy, gosh, I guess it's been a couple of years ago, and Lauren, her daughter. They're just great people. So it's just easy to connect with them. It's easy to figure out how to do business together. And we're literally working 2 shows together, the IPPE show and potentially another show later on this year. So that's an easy one. Just great people. But I think to answer your question, the people we work with are people that are truly focused not only on the customer, but on their people. The culture of Captron, and kudos to our owner, he really creates an environment where we enjoy working with each other. We got our challenges just like everybody else, but we work with other people that are very like-minded, that treat their employees well, that want to do well by their employees, and as opposed to just trying to make a sale, want to do right by their customers. And so those types of manufacturers are really easy to partner with. Yeah. Right. And I can say, I mean, SICK, we have joint efforts. We use each other's parts for our demos. Festo to a certain degree. We have a few other manufacturers that are in that same boat, and it's like we just really Murr is one of them. We really enjoy working with them, and the ultimate goal is we have to take care of our customers. Our customers take care of our organization, and then our organization takes care of the owners. That's the way I view how a good business should go to market.
Appreciate that. Can you tell me the owner of Captron? What is their name?
Philip Bellum is our CEO, and it's a family-owned company. His parents, they're going to kill me because I always butcher his mother's German name, but it's Petra and Reinhardt. So they're a family-owned organization. We've been around since 1981. I might be off 1 year, but we just celebrated 40 years just a couple of years ago. So great organization, great to be part of.
Awesome. Just wanted to give them a shout out while we were on the topic.
For sure.
Definitely. And then, Sean, I'll just ask 2 questions. Anything else you may want to add for OEMs, and how this one might be a little bit loaded. Are you guys using AI? And if so, do you want to kind of emphasize on that?
Okay. Those are 2 great questions. How do we impact OEMs? There's 2 different ways. One, conventionally speaking, a capacitive touch sensor that has all the bells and whistles is a more expensive product than a mechanical button. It just is. It's not terribly much more, but it's going to take an investment, and for an OEM to realize, hey, this is the value that you're going to bring to your customers, as opposed to looking at it from, well, how do I reduce the cost of the product I'm selling? But I mean, customers like Tyson and Purdue and Pilgrim's Pride, these large manufacturers of chicken products or beef or whatever, their core product is throughput of whatever they're selling, right? So machine uptime is very important to them. And if you're going to have a long engagement with a large customer like that, you have to meet their needs. So that's one of the bigger challenges we face is engaging OEMs to explain to them, listen, it's a little bit of investment on your end, but you're going to ultimately sell a better product to your customer that keeps their process going. Right. And ultimately it's always about the customer, right? It's always about, hey, how do you help them achieve their goals? Going back to that $7,000 example, if he had our product on there, he wouldn't have been down that time. He would have been able to go home on time that day, as opposed to scrambling to figure out how to get his production up and running again. So I think that's the biggest piece, because when I think about OEMs, I think of machine builders that, are producing machines for these large end users that go into their facilities. Um, the end users themselves get it right away, right? Because they're concerned about downtime. It's the OEMs that have to bridge that gap to understand, if I'm going to serve my customers, I'm going to have to put the best products on them so that they ultimately work. Regarding AI, I can't think of an instance right now where we incorporate AI directly in our products. I mean, I'm sure to a certain level, our products filter up information to edge devices, so where they can collect that data, and they can aggregate that data. We're working on a project right now with somebody who's doing that very similar thing, that they can take all that data, they can see which station is assembling faster than others, right? So I can see edge devices, and there's many of them on the market where they can collect the data, and they'll start to use that and put together dashboards that make more sense to them. But in our everyday life, we're using AI more and more, right? And it's not just to craft an email. It's literally to write code. It's literally to figure out, hey, how do we address this problem in the market better? So I think that is a big question. And inevitably, I've done a fair amount of homework on it. It's going to become more and more of our everyday life. I use it every day now. Every single day, I'm using it in some fashion, whether it be from writing a simple email or, hey, I have this problem. What are some ways to think about it? It really helps us craft some thought processes around how to do it better. So that's where we sit with AI.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Sean.
Very cool. All right, Sarah, I think this is now the third guest that we've had on the Downtime that will participate in our very famous by now game time. So
Yes.
we have crafted a very cool game just for you, Sean. We have a game coming up called Censor or Censor. Now that's censor with a C and censor with an S, just to differentiate. And the crux of the game is we'll name a technology or situation, and you will say censor with an S if it adds value, or censor with a C if it's overkill. So,
Okay.
Yes,
are we ready to play?
I am sensing a good time right here. All right.
I see what you did there.
Nice play.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here all week. Catch me every Thursday on this podcast. You ready to rock
Don't
and roll,
forget to tip your
Sean?
waiter.
Yeah,
I
totally.
am ready to roll.
All right.
Go for it, Sheri.
All right. So, in the manufacturing sector, sensor stopping machine when a guard opens, is that sensor with an S or sensor with a C?
Add value or nah?
Oh, no question. Censor with an S.
Yes.
No
All right.
question.
Considering
right.
we are all S's on this,
That's
yes,
right. Yes.
sensor with an S. Sarah,
Triple
Sheri.
S. All right.
We got one more. Sensors checking if a product has arrived at a certain point.
I'm going to go with that's a sensor with an S. That's
Yes.
part of our Amazon every day, right? You know where that thing is at.
Makes me think a lot about material handling too, and conveyors, point A to point B. We have a great ebook on material handling, by the way. Nice little plug. We got some real life situations now.
All right. So I have thoughts about this. Motion lights in your house. What do you think? S or C?
Motion lights in your house. I'm going to have to go C with that one.
Me too. Yeah. Enough is enough. I don't need lights following me around. That's very creepy.
Be like,
Yes.
see, you can't see
Don't
me. I don't need it. I don't need it.
Yeah, for sure.
Next one up, this one ties in what we just talked about. Alexa and or AI as your assistant. I can go first. I will say sensing with an S, because my Alexa, I hope she doesn't go off. She tells me when my laundry's done, turns my lights on and off. So
you already know my thoughts on this, Sarah. I'm gonna have to go with a C sensor because, like, I need a break from technology every now and then. As the kids say, you got to go touch grass. So that's my thought there. What do you think, Sean?
Hey, Sean.
All right. So one, I can't use Alexa because my youngest daughter's name is Alexa. So that's just out for me, right? But I'm landing with Sheri on this one. I need some break, and having the daily, we do it anyways, but I'm gonna go with the C.
Yes. Well, it's okay. We can agree to disagree. I just
Agree
asked
to
her.
disagree.
Just I'm not going to say her name. She'll go off. I asked her this morning, how many tablespoons are in blah, blah, blah. And she helped me out. So thank you. I was feeding my dogs. Next one up, Sheri.
Yeah, touchless sinks.
I say yes, sensing with Ness. Yes.
I'm gonna say that's a really nice to have. One of my friends just had one, but I'm gonna go with C on that one. That
Yeah,
could be a little overkill. It's nice.
exactly. Yeah, none for me, but you can have all the touchless sinks you want, Sarah.
Hey, I don't have one. Would love to. Maybe that's a New Year resolution. Next one up, we have our sensor ring doorbells.
I have one, so I'm gonna go with an S. I'm kind of starting to like it now.
Same.
I don't have one. I mean, I have a security camera, but I mean, I guess it's not that important if you have like cameras because it's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah. I say sensing with an S. And then this one was added in just to see what Sean had to say about this topic. We've discussed it on the downtime before. Sheri, take it away.
Wearing Crocs in public.
S. Yes.
I'm gonna go with a C there.
Thank you. Yes. Me too.
All right. Well, Sean,
Sarah knows my opinion about Crocs.
when I see Sheri in person next, and hopefully Sean, you'll be there, I'll wear my fur-lined Crocs just for you guys.
Ooh, that's pretty interesting.
Yes.
That's funny.
Purchased at Marshall's. This is not an endorsement.
Not a sponsor.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you.
Not to get too pluggy here, but can I go back to one of the S or C questions you
Yes.
talked about tracking? Here's just an interesting tidbit.
Okay.
Amazon, as we talked about tracking packages along the way, sensing. Amazon, Captron is the sole provider of picking buttons globally for Amazon. Captron has sold Amazon north of 600,000 buttons over the last 5 years. Not a single package arrives at your door that wasn't impacted by Captron button.
That's amazing. I love that fun fact.
Yeah. And they went with Captron because they had issues with the mechanical buttons. They would break after so many touches.
Yeah.
An average Amazon facility will move up to 1 million packages a day. So it's insane. So they went with a capacitive sensor because it was reliable.
What was the number, Sean?
North of 600,000 buttons.
A lot of buttons there. Stay impressed.
That's a lot of buttons.
Yeah.
So definitely an S for me.
Yes, I will tie this all together then. The Amazon package that just came to my house, which was on my Ring camera, and my Alexa told me it arrived, came ultimately, Captron was involved. So thank you.
There you go.
So the question is it okay to walk outside with your Crocs to pick up the package?
Yes, if I'm taking the dogs out, we got the Crocs are the perfect shoe to take the dogs out. Yes, thank you, Sean. He connected the whole thing for me.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. I think this brings us to the end of another episode of the Downtime. And Sean, we were so thrilled to have you. It's been an honor.
Thank you both so much for your time. I enjoyed it myself.
Appreciate your time, Sean. Thank you.
Thank you.